Okay, I'm going to take a few minutes of your time this morning to talk to you about why you should study GCSE Digital Technology. But before I try and convince you of why you should study a computing discipline, let's listen to someone who has a bit more authority than me.
Hi, everybody. This week, I'm proud to join the students, teachers, businesses, and nonprofit organizations taking big new steps to support computer science in America's schools. Learning these skills isn't just important for your future, it's important for our country's future. If we want America to stay on the cutting edge, we need young Americans like you to master the tools and technology that will change the way we do just about everything. That's why I'm asking you to get involved. Don't just buy a new video game. Make one. Don't just download the latest app. Help design it. Don't just play on your phone. Program it. No one's born a computer scientist, but with a little hard work and some math and science, just about anyone can become one. This week is your chance to give it a shot. And don't let anyone tell you you can't. Whether you're a young man or a young woman, whether you live in a city or a rural area, computers are going to be a big part of your future. And if you're willing to work and study hard, that future is yours to shape. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, in terms of the structure of the course, the GCSE Digital Technology course is actually split into two different pathways. We follow the programming pathway, which means that we study units 4 and 5. Students studying GCSE Digital Technology, all students will study Unit 1, and Unit 1 is a theory-based unit, and you're assessed at the end of Year 12 through a 1-hour external exam, and that's worth 30% of your overall mark. And we cover the theory for this unit in Year 11, certainly concentrating in sort of terms 1 and 2. Units 4 and 5 are the programming related units. Unit 4 is a theory based unit, and you would sit an external exam at the end of Year 12, and it's worth 40% of your overall mark. Unit 5 is your controlled assessment unit, and Unit 4 and 5 are inextricably linked, because most of the concepts you learn in Unit 4 then you will apply in Unit 5. And Unit 5, as I say, is all based around controlled assessment, which is typically a real world problem which you're asked to design a computer application using C#. And you have 36 hours of class time to develop the application and also do a write-up, and it's worth 30% of your overall mark. So what will you learn about between units 1, 4, and 5? Well, I guess the first thing is you will learn about emerging new digital technologies. We've all heard of augmented reality and how that's going to change the way businesses operate in the future. Virtual reality, maybe some of you already have VR headsets, Oculus, and the like, and how these are being used in businesses and indeed in schools to change the way businesses and schools operate. Artificial intelligence, so looking at how artificial intelligence is going to change the world over the next few decades, the advance of robots, artificial intelligence in machines that we use on a daily basis, and how that's going to change how we interact with machines. We're going to also look at computing fundamentals, things like digital data, looking at binary number systems, bits and bytes, looking at how images are made up of ones and zeros, looking at how images and videos are sent over the internet. We look at how computers work, so we look at the role of the processor, look at hard drives, how they work, how computer memory works. We also look at the individual components of a computer, and this is achieved through a little activity where students are asked to dismantle and rebuild a computer, which is always good fun. We also look at the growing area of computer networks, in particular cybersecurity. We look at the risks involved in cybersecurity, hackers, viruses, ransomware, and we also look at ways of combating these cybersecurity risks through firewalls and antivirus. We look at the growing area of cloud computing. Pretty much every piece of software that we have in school, including all your data, is stored in the cloud, in the C2K cloud. And over the next sort of 5 to 10 years, pretty much every piece of data we own will be stored in the cloud. You'll no longer work with data stored simply just on your computer. And we'll look at the risks around that and also the opportunities for companies in terms of making their business more efficient. Then we also look at the Internet of Things. Internet of Things is a huge growth area, and that's the concept which revolves around all electronic devices being connected to the internet so they can be controlled and interacted with through your mobile devices. We also look at, a huge focus of the course is learning to program in C Sharp. And for those who don't know what C Sharp is, it's a programming language. It's an object-oriented programming language. It's actually the world's most popular programming language, and it's the one that's used most often by the big IT companies, particularly in Northern Ireland. Companies like Allstate, Liberty IT, Seagate, all use C Sharp or derivatives thereof. And the reason why you learn to program in C Sharp is because as part of your controlled assessment in Unit 5, you'll be asked to develop a real app which will solve a real problem for a real world situation. And that is a big focus of your year 12 work. So what skills you get? Well, I guess that one of the biggest skill areas that you will develop over the course of the 2 years is your computational thinking. And that's something we have touched on year 10. And computational thinking is an area which has huge transferable skills between a whole range of subjects, not least maths and science. So computational skills involve you thinking logically, problem solving, um, decomposing problems into smaller problems, developing algorithms to solve problems. And problem solving is a huge part of not just computer science or digital technology, but maths and the sciences as well. So we also develop your digital skills. And digital skills are something that you won't just need in IT professions as you once you leave school, university. Um, you'll need them in every career you go into, and we develop those digital skills, not only your awareness of digital technologies, but also your digital skills in the sort of the everyday office software, spreadsheets and databases, as well as some of the cloud-based applications now that we're using Google Docs and Google Sheets and Google Forms and so on. So you'll get an opportunity to develop those skills which are useful in a whole wide range of careers. Now, in terms of career prospects, well, I think there's 101 reasons why you should think about studying digital technology or computer science. Certainly in Northern Ireland, these are all the companies which, now this is 2 years old, but all the IT companies that have bases in Northern Ireland. And IT is a massive growth area in Northern Ireland and continues to be a massive growth area. In fact, it's such a huge growth area that they can't get enough people to fill the jobs. And especially during the pandemic, the whole world is relying on IT, and there's set to be a huge IT jobs boom over the next sort of 5 to 10 years as a lot of these companies continue to expand. So as I was saying, there is an IT skills shortage. If we look at the number of students that typically study digital technology and computer science, and again, this data is a couple of years old, but only 2% of students study IT, believe it or not, at A level and beyond at university. But yet, if you look at the jobs market, 60% of the jobs are IT related. Now, that's a pretty amazing stat, and this stat is legit. It is from an organization called Sentinus, who are actually running a careers in IT presentation tomorrow, Thursday morning, which you're all welcome to tune into. So here are also a few interesting job prospects facts, which were shared with me by Sentinus. So the IT industry employs 33,000 people in Northern Ireland, and jobs are multiplying 4 times faster than any other sector. So when in the last sort of 5-10 years, some sectors have seen a decline in the number of jobs, but IT is really the only sector where job prospects have increased year on year. Graduates with an IT-related degree are more likely to secure employment than those from any other academic discipline. Well, if you go on to Job Finder tonight and you type in, for example, programmer, you will see thousands of jobs in Northern Ireland alone. And that is why you are more likely to secure employment, because there are so many jobs out there and there are so many opportunities for moving between companies, not only within Northern Ireland, but within the UK and beyond. 86% of IT graduates secure full-time employment within 6 months of graduating. The remaining 14% go into higher education or go travelling. Well, I guess I can't blame them for going travelling, but 86% of IT graduates secure full-time employment. That's an amazing stat. And studying GCSE Digital Technology provides the perfect transition for those students who are potentially doing A level in an IT discipline, or even if they aren't, it gives you the skills that you will need in courses that are not necessarily IT related at university. We have lots of students who study GCSE technology who go on to do civil engineering, mechanical engineering, medicine, but who want that exposure to programming to enhance their career prospects in disciplines other than IT. So an IT professional can earn up to 40%, well, over 40% more than the average salary for graduates, which is again an incredible statistic. And that really makes sense because there is a skill shortage in that area. Then there's demand and supply. The more jobs there are, then the more companies are competing for the right people to take those jobs, and they'll pay more money. And this is I guess, the most relevant stat for all of you guys, which is there is an estimated, or there will be an estimated 10,000 new jobs in the IT industry in Northern Ireland in the next 5 to 7 years. And that's an incredible statistic. But they reckon that if they can't fill them with local graduates, so people who've studied the likes of GCSE Digital Technology or A-level software systems and gone on to university to study an IT-related qualification, they will have to source them from outside Northern Ireland. And we do have quite a large number of people who program and who are network professionals, for example, from Eastern Europe and from India and Pakistan. And to say this is set to be a growth area over the next 5 to 7 years. Studying GCSE Digital Technology will give you the fundamentals that you need then to go on and study it at A level and beyond.